Okay, so today we're going to draw a mitten. We're just going to do one mitten. If you want and you have time, you could go ahead and do another mitten on another piece of paper. But today we're going to draw a huge mitten that's big enough for our hand to fit in. So that means when you put your hand on your paper, it needs to be big enough to put your hand inside. So let's start. So I have a regular piece of white computer paper. You could also use a piece of notebook paper if that's all you have. And I'm using a black marker so that you can see what I'm drawing. But you can use a pencil with an eraser. That's usually best so that you can erase your mistakes. Or you can use a pen, a colored pencil. You can use a marker too. Just use whatever you have at your house. So let's begin. I'm going to have my paper sitting long ways in front of me so that one of the short sides of the piece of paper are facing me and the longer sides of the piece of paper are facing out to the side. This way, I have a long piece of paper that will fit my long mitten. All right, so let's first start by drawing the bottom of our mitten. I'm going to take a couple of my fingers. I'm going to use 4 of my fingers. And I'm going to draw a little dot. You're going to go around here. It can be down near the bottom of your page. Do the same thing on the other side. Take a couple fingers, 4 fingers, and draw a little dot. So let's see. I have 4 fingers from the sides and about 3 or 4 fingers up. That would work. So once you have your 2 dots in place, we're going to connect them with a curved line. There you go. See how that line is not perfectly straight, but it bends a little bit? That's a curved line. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 lines and draw them straight down from each end of this curved line. I have 2 straight lines and they can be kind of long. This is going to be the end of our mitten. Now, once you have both of those lines drawn, we're going to draw another curved line just like this first one that connects these 2 ends. Let's draw that line now. See how I connected them? This is the bottom of my mitten. So, now that we have the bottom of our mitten, let's draw the part that covers our thumb and our fingers. And remember, this has got to be big. To give you an idea of how big you need to draw this part, stick your hand over top the bottom of the mitten that we just drew, and that'll tell you how big your mitten needs to be on your piece of paper. So, let's go ahead and draw our thumb. You're going to start at one point, and we're going to draw a long curved line that hooks back in. Here we go. There you go, that's my thumb. But now we have to do the rest of our mitten, the part that the other 4 fingers sit inside of. So here we go. We're going to draw another huge curved line. It's going to be like sort of starting to look like a circle when you draw it, but then it's going to straighten out and connect down here. If you want to watch me, you can. Remember, this part has to be really big so that your hand can fit inside. See how big my mitten is? It takes up the entire page. Let's test it. Let's see. If your mitten fits your hand inside, you drew it the right size. Let's see. Oh, there you go. My hand fits in my mitten. Whew, good. All right, so at this point, you can decorate your mitten any way that you want. I am going to add one thing to my mitten that you can add if you want. I'm going to add little lines at the bottom. You know when you put your mittens on and they sit really tight, they stay on your hands because they get a little tight around your wrists? That's an elastic band. And they usually have little lines like this on them. So I'm going to draw that on my mitten. I usually do draw those on my mittens, actually. So you can draw that too if you want. All right. But after that, you can draw anything you want on the inside of this. You can draw a bunch of shapes. You can draw a bunch of different lines. You can draw a bunch of different decorations, whatever you want. You can draw people. You can draw a picture. You could just color it in, or you could do all of those things. You could do whatever you want. So at this point, I'm going to show you my finished mitten. And then after that, I'm going to put this picture back up on the screen for you so you can look at it while you continue to decorate your own mitten.